What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about why you have bad hands. So we're going to talk about all of the bad habits that lead to wide receivers dropping passes, and then some simple tips and drills that you can do to fix those bad habits. Let's get started. So all of you guys watching this, I'm sure have heard the phrase, you want your hands to be in a diamond, and that's actually one of the things that leads to a lot of wide receivers dropping passes, is that their diamond is too wide, and especially on over-the-shoulder passes, their pinkies are too wide. Let me explain. So obviously the diamond that every receiver coach loves to tell their wide receivers is that, like, you want to almost have this like diamond type shape, but I think a lot of people try to get to that shape, but there's too big of a gap. Your thumb and your index finger need to almost be touching when you're in that diamond position. A lot of times guys have this really big gap, and then a QB will throw a pass with a lot of velocity to it, and the ball will go right through the middle of their hands. So make sure that your diamond is connected. Now, I think that's pretty basic advice, but I think where receivers struggle the most is on over-the-shoulder passes. They'll be running a fade ball, ball's thrown over the shoulder, they'll watch it all the way, and that ball goes straight through the middle of their hands. So what you need to think about, it's almost like, think of it like a reverse diamond, if you will, but you almost want to touch your pinkies together. You don't want to be like this, like you're cradling the ball, because when it hits your hands, it's going to roll out. You want like a slight curve to your hands, but those pinkies need to be connected, and you watch that thing all the way into your hands. So if you have too big of a gap, that's generally why a lot of wide receivers will have bad hands. But if you can fix that, that can easily fix the problem. Now, fellas, before we get into the rest of the reasons why you drop passes, if you're a receiver watching this, or even a quarterback, and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we're going to be traveling out to 8 more states across the entire country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can sign up. Next up on our camp tour, we'll be coming out to Chicago, Illinois. Then we'll be heading out to Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, or excuse me, Boise, Idaho, and then finishing off our tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, want some more information? Go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can sign up. All of our camps, though, guys, have only about 3 to 4 spots left remaining. We limit spots on the camp so each athlete can get individualized coaching from myself and obviously my staff. So guys, take advantage of the fact that we still have available spots. By April 1st, all of these camps will probably be sold out. So very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, the next reason that receivers will drop passes, more specifically passes like over the middle that have some heat on it, a lot of you refer to them as like bullet passes, is that they will let the nose of the football, so the tip of the football, cross their nose. So there's a couple ways that receivers will do this. One, I think it has to do with like wrong hand placement. So I think a lot of receivers are not comfortable. Like, what I tell my receivers is, think of your hands like they're on a big clock, right? So you got 12 at the top and then 6 on the bottom. So from, like, I would say anywhere from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, your hands should be in that diamond. Below 3 and below 9, your hands should be flipped, and you should be in that like pinky connected position if it's a low pass. So I think a lot of receivers over the middle try to catch the ball like this when the ball is thrown too high. But the issue is that when that football is thrown and you're catching here, the nose of the football crosses your nose, and that's how the ball goes through the middle of your hands, and you're not looking the ball in properly. So what you want to do is, obviously you need the right hand placement, but don't let the nose of the ball cross your nose. You want to keep your head almost behind that football. Now, what's a way that you could fix that problem? What's a way that you could work on that problem? So if you look closely on this football, you can see that this end of the ball is numbered. You see how there's 1s on this end, and then on the opposite end, there are 2s on this end. That's a drill that I'll do with my receivers to work on this bad habit. I have them call out whether they see 1 or whether they see 2. So I'll be playing catch with them. I'll look, okay, I know that 2 is on this end, so I'll throw them a pass. That means they have to call out 1. And if they see it and they call out the number 1, that means that nose is not crossing their nose. If they see the middle of the football, they obviously can't tell, and they're not doing a good job keeping their head behind the ball. So that's a simple way that you guys could fix that bad habit. If you find yourself dropping bullet passes, ball that through the middle of your hand over the middle, easy way that you could fix that problem. Now, the next reason a lot of receivers drop passes and have bad hands is that they try to turn up field too quick without the ball. So I think that's a huge problem that a lot of receivers do, from just honestly like not looking the ball in enough when they are in practice. Obviously in a game, you guys, like, what do all receiver coaches say? They say like, okay, when you catch the ball, looking into the tuck, and that's absolutely true, but I'm realistic. In like a real game scenario, let's say you're running a post over the middle, there's 2 high safeties crashing down, you can't catch the ball, look at it, you're gonna get popped, you're gonna get killed. So like, it needs to be muscle memory by the time that you get into a game. So when you're practicing and you're in a setting like this, t-shirt and shorts, no defense, no pass rush, you need to be really mindful of, okay, I tell my receivers 2 things. Take a photo of the football with your eyes, pretend your eyes are a camera, only thing in your line of vision is the football, and I'm shooting sure you guys have heard that from me at some point, but I tell my receivers to work the laces or no laces drill. And this is a drill I'll do with young receivers, high school receivers, college receivers who are struggling looking the ball in. I'll have them verbally call out whether they see laces or whether they see no laces when they tuck the ball away. So every single training session that I'll do with receivers is it'll start out the same way. We'll get our legs warm, do like A skips, B skips, whatever, then we'll get our hands warm. And when we're getting our hands warm, if I know that receiver is struggling with catching, whether they've told me, whether I've seen it in previous sessions, what I'll do is every pass I throw to them for the next 10 minutes, they have to verbally call out. So we're playing catch, they catch it, tuck it away, laces or no laces, and it holds them accountable to actually looking the football in. So when we're in a live game setting, things are moving a little bit faster. They have that muscle memory of looking it into the tuck, but they can do it faster, you guys. Think about it like this, like if any of you watching this can drive, right? The first time you learned how to turn left in a car was probably a little scary because you've never done that before, right? But now if you've been driving for even just a year, you probably turn left, you probably do it with some speed, you're probably confident switching lanes, you don't even need to use a blinker. It happens faster over time. So if you could just rep that out over and over again, you're gonna get a lot more consistent. So I recommend that laces, no laces drill if you're struggling with turning upfield too quick, and that's why you're dropping the ball. Now, another reason that wide receivers have bad hands and they drop the ball is not getting their head around fast enough on timing routes. And I'm gonna give you a simple tip that will help you fix that problem. So let's say for sake of an example, my quarterback's over to the right, I have to run like a 10-yard timing out route. That's one of the routes that the quarterback is supposed to throw. Before we even get my head around, I snap my head and the ball is supposed to be right there. So a lot of receivers just simply aren't ready for that. A lot of receivers will come out of their break, they'll go here, head takes forever to get around, then the ball surprises them, and that's why they end up dropping the ball, because they're not able to see it long enough, they're not able to locate it in the air. So how do we fix that problem, guys? So a simple tip that I'll tell my receivers, a lot of times they're slow getting their head around as they're trying to look over their shoulder. So they cut off of their inside foot, QB's over there, they're looking over their shoulder, and that raises their pad level, raises their body language. And guys, as receivers, same thing when you're like, think about running like a 40-yard dash, right? If you're running like leaning back, you're gonna be a lot slower than the guy who has that slight forward lean. So don't look over your shoulder. I tell my guys to look around their shoulder. They cut off the right foot, look around your shoulder. It's essentially the same thing, but looking around has a way to keep your chest forward, keep your pad level in a more explosive position, so you're out faster, and that can allow you to see the ball sooner. So don't look over the shoulder, look around your shoulder, and that'll help you get your head around quicker on quick passes. You can do the same thing on a slant, on a quick post where the ball's right there, look around the shoulder to locate that football.